those are some important checks you want to do before you kick things off. So let's have a look now at updating your website, because that's what you're here for. How do you update the website? A couple of things that we would usually say to leave to us. That would be the home page, especially at the top, you know, the logo, the menu, these icons up here, the main images here. And the reason for that is because we want the home page to look amazing. So sometimes the photo, you know, you need to have the photo the right dimensions. You don't want to be uploading a massive image file. You probably want to have the image sort of less than 300 kilobytes or so that it's not taking ages to load. And yeah, and it's just got to look right. So probably best to send those through to us. We'll crop it, resize it, and all that kind of stuff. Make sure it's fitting nicely on the page. See, this one here is looking good. This one here is nice. This one here. Yeah. So so first of all, I'd suggest leaving that alone. You can edit the content throughout here, and then and you can do the footer as well. You can do the term dates, and that's something we'll do right now, because I just had an email from Irongate School. They said that the term dates are wrong down here. Those probably last year's term dates, and they haven't updated the term dates yet. So I'm going to do that now. All right, so first of all, to edit your website, you need to first go to your website address and then /wp-admin. And that will take you to the login page. And when you log in, it'll take you to the dashboard. There's the dashboard here. But we don't need to be on the dashboard. We just log in here. Now that we're logged in, we go to the website itself. So you've got the dashboard open here, and you've got the website open here. Once you've got your website open, don't go edit page. We want to go edit with Elementor, very important. Right click and open the link in a new tab. Bit confusing, I know, but that's what we want to do. We want to edit with Elementor. Elementor is the page builder that we use that allows you to easily drag and drop things onto the website. So you can see here in the editor, it looks exactly like the home page. Everything looks the same. We can just click on all these bits and pieces and start editing. Okay, but we want to do the term dates, which is in the footer. So the page is made up of the header, and then you've got the page, which is what it will default to editing the page. And then we got the footer. So the header and the footer are usually the same on every page. So every page that you go to, all those are going to be the same. So don't touch the header. You can edit the page content, but if you want to edit the term dates in the footer, click on footer and go down here. And probably worthwhile putting that into the date there. And then they've said that the start date is Monday, 3rd of Feb. They haven't given me the rest yet. So what I'm going to do is go TBC, TBC, TBC. Okay, but what you would usually do is go, you know, and then put the end date there. So I'll just put it like that for now. That's how you would do that. So that's all up to date. Some of you might have a page with term dates as well. So usually in the footer, we've got just the basic term dates, but then you might go through to another school info page that might have full, you know, public holidays and teacher-only days and things like that. And I'll see if I can find one of those and show you how to update that. I sped ahead there. So what I did was, once I'm happy with the change, click publish, which is usually either up the top right-hand corner, or you might have an update button down the bottom left. But it's usually a big pink button, hard to miss. Publish that, refresh the page, and there we go. So that's updated. Easy as. All right, so what's next? So we'll go through a few other bits and pieces. Let's have a look at the board page. Okay. Let's have a look at, we'll have a look at a website. Someone's here. So we got St. Bernadette's. Rightio, this is a good one. Okay, so if you want to edit the page that, to edit the page that you're wanting to edit, you just navigate to the page itself, go edit with Elementor, and open the link in a new tab. First of all, I'll take you through what I call like the anatomy of the page or the layout of the page. So you've usually got like this banner image up the top here. You can click on the section up here, go to style, and change the image. But again, just like the home page, we usually like to have these kind of, see how the orientation of this image is. It's long, it's not very tall. File size is quite low. So sometimes it needs to be cropped so that those images fit in there perfectly. And if you're not comfortable with that, then you can send it through and we'll do it. So by the way, all updates that you send to us are free. It's all part of the deal. We're more than happy to do the updates for you. But I just realized that, we realize that some of you guys like to get stuck in and do it yourself. So that's what this is for, this training, show you how to do some of the stuff. But if there's anything that's over your head, or you don't have time to do it, or you just don't want to do it, flick it to us, and we'll usually do it same day. All right, so that's how you would update that one. You click on image, and then you can just drag and drop an image into the media library here. And so let's have a look. Like if we did this image here, see how it's portrait. See, doesn't look too good at all. I mean, you get away with it. It's got the ice cream, it's got the logo, and it's got this guy over here. It works, but you kind of want those images that fit. So I'm just going to do Command Z. No, actually, I'll show you. If you've done something that you don't like the look of, and you're not happy with it, first of all, you just don't click publish. If you don't click publish, it's not going to save it. You can just close down the page, and the changes are not going to be made. The other thing you can do is go to this icon over here, top left, and click on history, and you can just, if you've done a whole bunch of changes, it'll have all the changes listed down here, and you just go back to where you were. So I'm going to go back to when editing started there. But you can also go to revisions, and we could actually go back to a revision that I made a month ago. Okay, so there we go. So that's the top there. Now on the actual page content itself, so again, we've got the section. So this, when you click on that section there, you can see this big pink box. So that's like everything within that box section. Within that section, we've got one column. And then within the column, we've got a text editor, and we've got this list of icons over here. So yeah, so that means that we can click onto these widgets and we can edit this content here. We can click into there and update the stationery list for each of these rooms. You can see it's a PDF. I'm going to show you how to load PDFs shortly. But yeah, you can also add other widgets into this section as well. But let's say we want to add more content or different new sections onto this page. So we can either click the plus button, and that's going to give us this box here, and we can choose our layout. So this is one column, two columns. So let's say we want to go with two columns, and then we can put our widgets in there. And we go over to, we click plus. So let's put in a heading, plus, drag in some text, plus, pop a button in there. And as you can see, when I'm dragging these things in, it's actually using the school's fonts, it's using the colors, it's using the styles. So everything's loaded up there. So you don't have to worry about styling things because it's already done by us when we built the website. Now over this side, you might want to put an image. So now we've got a section, two columns. We've got a header, text, button, image. All right, and so now that you know how the layout of the page works, you could drag this column over here and everything moves across, or you can move widgets around within here. You can drop that down to there, you can drop that into there, or you could even drop that down to the section below. Or you can even drag the whole section down below that section. You know, so sections move around sections, columns move around within columns. You can even put this one over here too. That's a handy thing to know. Now that you know that, you can really start to have a good play around. And then you also know that if you go into history over here, that you can just go back to where it was before, and like none of it happened. Or you can go back to that. Go back through history. So to edit an image, click on the image box, choose image, and then just load your image into there from your computer. Just drop it in, and it goes like that. Edit the header. Edit the button. So it might be contact us. And then you might link it to, it could be your Facebook page, it could be a PDF document, it could be another page on your website. If it's another page on your website, you just type the name of that page, and there you go. So now we're linking to the contact page of the St. Bernadette's School website. Edit the text, standard text editor. You can copy and paste your text into here, or you can just write it. Then you can do things like, make it bold, or you can put some more headings in here. Actually, do it like this. You can change color of some of the text. Just a standard editor. All right. There's a few other widgets that you might want to use. You can pop a video in as well. So video is cool. Connected to YouTube. So you just go to YouTube and paste the URL of a YouTube video. So if you're doing some a performance, or you've got a video of the cross country or swimming sports or kapahaka, then you upload that to YouTube, up to the school YouTube channel, and then just paste the URL in there, and that video is going to be on the page. Easy. What else we got? So there's heaps and heaps of widgets, as you can see. You're not going to use 98% of those. You probably stick with these ones here, but you might add a form. You can start editing your form. There's all these types of different things that you can do. Checkbox, select, telephone. You can add gallery, so image gallery. Yeah, so now we've got a gallery. You can style that gallery. So with every widget, so if we click on this header, you got the content, but then you got the style. So you can change what color. You can these are all the colors built into the website, so you can change those. Or if you want to customize it, you can just choose any color you want. Same with buttons. So everything's got a style button up here, and that's how you change the the text size and the colors. And there's all these other types of things that you can do. So border radius, it's going to give you some rounded edges on the button. So it all depends really how much you want to have a play around, and just knowing, being confident that if you don't like it, you just don't save it, or you just go back to history. So the gallery, you can style as well. You might curve the corners. You might add a border to the images. So you can just play around as much as you like. Add some. All right. But we don't like this, so I'm going to delete everything in this section. So so deleting. So all right, so maybe you don't want the video. Okay, so you can right click and delete that widget there. or maybe you don't want this whole column, so you delete the whole column, right click, delete the column. And so now that section's only got one column. Or maybe you've decided you don't want any of this, so you just delete the whole section, and that just goes back to have that previous section that we got. How do we update PDFs? Because these are probably 2024. Yep. Stationary lists, so we need to update these with the new ones. So to update a PDF, first you've got to go to your dashboard. I showed you how to go to the dashboard before. It's your website address and then WP-admin. You've got to go to the media library. So we need a place to store the PDFs. And in fact, these look like they were loaded on 2024, but I can't remember if we did it or if the school did it. These must be the correct 2025 stationary list. So they're all good. They're up to date because it was only updated at the end of last year. Okay, so this is the media library, and as you can see, all these images here, they've got 895 media items. These are all the images and documents that are used within the website and within their digital newsletter. So this is where you load your PDFs. So just drag and drop from your computer into the media library, click on the PDF, and then you've got the file URL over here. Copy it. Then you go over to stationary list over here, and this is the same document. So I've just pasted that file URL in there. So it's a little bit of a roundabout way to get your PDFs into your website, but that's how you do it. There is another way you can add PDFs. So I'll add a new section with one column, add a text editor, and you can actually add media here. So here we go. Let's add all these guys in one at a time. There you go. So that's a way of doing it. And maybe you bullet point it because this doesn't have the icons like this one does. That's cool because that widget is called an icon list. What was that one? Yeah. So this is just a text editor, so we can maybe bullet point these. So that's how you could get a PDF document, and you either load it into the media library, grab the URL, and paste it in, or you use a text editor and add your media in that way. All right. So this is where it usually asks questions, but because the chat we can't get the chat function working, I guess write down any questions that you might have, and you can flick them to me in an email afterwards. But we'll do a few more bits and pieces. Let's have a look at staff page. Staff page can be a tricky one, and again, if you get stuck with this, just flick it through to me with your team, your updated team members. Because every staff page is different. Like this one has got nice photos here. Some of them have got photos of email address, and some have got a bio. Some have got just a list. I think Stratford have got a bit of both. Yeah. So because they've got a big staff list. So they've got all their senior leadership and everything in here, heads of departments, and then they've got their staff list down here. So let's have a look at this one. Edit with Elementor on the staff page. And this is all recorded, so you can send it to your team afterwards as well. And I think it's got some Google AI tool transcribing. Don't know how good that is, but we'll see. All right, so again, now you know the layout of a page. You've got section, and so you can see this section's got 3 columns, and within the columns it's got image, text, and in the email it's just got a This is like email, text, and you've got to put mail to, and then you put their email address. Like that, and that becomes a link. So that's how that's done. Yep, so now that you know, okay, well maybe Dirk has now become the deputy. So there's a couple of ways you could go about that. You could either just click on, and Michael Taylor might have resigned, so click on Michael, change his picture to Dirk's picture. You find it in here somewhere, and replace it, change the name, change that, or you could drag him up there and just right click and delete. Let's just do it. So that's how you do that. But then now you need another person who was previously the principal's nominee. So you could then duplicate. So that's another tool, duplicate, right click, duplicate, and then put the new person's photo in here along with their name, details, and email address. We don't want to do that, so let's go back to history. And that's how it was before. So yeah, so as you can see, it's really important to know about how sections, columns, and widgets work. So now you can just drag things around like that. It's really important when it comes to the staff pages. So we've got this oval effect on the images, but if you click on the image itself, you see the image is actually square. So how have we done that? Well, you can go into style, of course, and border radius. So border radius is what gives it these curves. So if you give it a border radius of 24, so you've got less of a curve, but we've gone, if you go 200, well, it sort of maxes out really, but we've got 100. And you could change the typography and the color. And another handy thing, if you say like, okay, so you want to make sure all the styles matching. So you might have added a bunch of things, but they're not looking the same. So you can right click, copy, and then right click, paste style. And so it's gonna, well, I'll just try that again. So if we remove the border radius, so then you can go, and so instead of going through and changing the border radius of everyone, you just go paste style and see, and it just is going to match. So you just work on making one look really good, and you go through and match the style. You can do the same with headings and text and everything. So copy and then paste style. It's already the same thing, but they're just giving you the idea of how to do that. And then down here, they've got their list. So this is just, see, this is just a text editor. And so you can go through and edit the text, and they've got some people's email addresses in there. So mail to is the little thing with the, what do you call that? I don't know, can't remember. Before the email address goes in there. And then you would just publish the changes up here and you're away. Just going through my notes, if there is anything else, that's pretty much covers the main basics. So just to go over that again, you now know how to do basic updates like updating images, updating text, adding new sections, columns, all those types of widgets. Let's have a look at adding a new page. So I said that we control the menu. So you can create a new page, but if you want that page added to the menu, then we would need to do that. So to create a new page, you go to the dashboard, pages, and then the best way to probably do it is to duplicate a page and duplicate a basic page. So let's duplicate that stationary lists page. Click clone. And the reason you do this is because it's going to copy all the styling, you know, the header images and the titles and all that kind of stuff. So there it is there. So you can see this is the copied one because it's draft. First, you're going to click edit. Give it a new name. Publish the page. That page is now live on the internet. but it's not in your menu. No one can really find it unless they miraculously sort of stumbled across it somehow. But we also need to edit with Elementor to edit the content of that page. So the first thing you'd probably do, and see how because we duplicated the style, it's got the same image up here, it's got the page title, and then it's got the same content as well. So the first thing you'd do is probably just get rid of that and then start, doing your bits and pieces that you want to do, and then publish it. So once you've done that, flick me an email and I'll add the page to your menu. You just need to tell me where you want it to go, under school info, or maybe it's a new top level item in the menu. Okay, I've just realized gone slightly over time. Yeah, so as I say, pretty much any update that you send to us, there's no cost for that. However, if you did want a complete design overhaul, and that's something we are going to be getting into for these guys, is just a little bit of a redesign. There is a small cost for that, but it's just, it's in the hundreds, it's not in the thousands of dollars, which is what it would cost if you were to, start your website from scratch. But it's just, some of you, you've had your website with us for 5 or 6 years now, and might be just time for a little bit of a refresh. So if you wanted to do that, get in touch. Then we've got the digital newsletter. So let's have a look at some of those. Diamond Harbour's got a digital newsletter. So there's an extra cost for that as well. We designed the newsletter template with your logos and your colors and your fonts and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, you're able to then put all your content into the newsletter. You can add text, images, buttons, all sorts of things in here. Looks really cool. To publish your newsletter, you can send it out via email. So you can load up a list of email addresses and send it out via email. It publishes automatically to your website. You can put it on your Facebook page, because it's just a website address. You just copy the website address and paste it to wherever you want it to go. If you've got the school app, it'll go automatically to the school app, but you could put it on School Loop, Hero, Kama, ETAP, all these types of things as well. So there's an extra cost for that. Another thing,